All right, guys, so welcome back. It's Monday. It's the 5th of October, back trading in Berlin. I'm super stoked. Don't mind the super white background. Actually, we'll enjoy it for now because I'm doing some changes to the studio a little bit and everything's white, so enjoy it while it lasts. Who knows what kind of weird stuff I'm going to put on the walls soon enough. Anyway, guys, first thing I want to review today is the stocks we traded like always. We had some pretty slow action, but there were some good opportunities, especially pre-market. And I think there's some really good lessons to learn today, like always. And then I really want to focus on today, more than anything, CHS. It's very similar to EXPR, a swing trade that we entered on Friday, and we've already adjusted it. And I don't want to give everything away just yet, but CHS, very similar to EXPR, swing trades that I'm looking into that I think are really good opportunities for the next few weeks. Definitely check out the video from yesterday from Friday if you have not done so, if you want to learn more about Express. It's a retail clothing line that I entered a swing trade on. Yeah, and if you guys, just a little heads up here, all the timestamps, new thing on this channel, are right below in the video description. So if you guys want to go right to those, click on the timestamps, you'll go right to them. But for now, tripping over myself, we're going to go through the day trades we did today. Yeah, and don't forget to drop a like if you enjoy the content. And if you're totally new here, consider subscribing. Join us every day. We go live to trade the market open starting at 9:15. So let's go ahead and actually go over to the trading screen, and right here you can see the P&L for the day. You know, CRVS was really the ticker we were milking today, probably the most, and then GRNQ. This was a weird one. We'll share a little bit more about that. And EXPR, this is something that I think you guys are going to get a nice little kick out of. So we'll finish up talking about EXPR, and then, like I said, CHS. Yes. Okay. Boom. Starting with CRVS. This was our lead winner, CRVS. And let's actually start on the charts, the daily chart here. And this should update any second. So CRVS, guys, 23 million float, US biotech. This was the clear lead gapper on the day. Right now, it's kind of in third place with $200 million volume, 115 million market cap, 23 million float, US biotech, with phase 1 coronavirus study results that ended up being pretty good. What I don't like about this company right off the back is if you see the big spikes in volume here and then you scroll back a little bit, you clearly can tell that there's probably some form of dilution going on in the background because these big volume spikes are really dwarfing the other ones. And yes, it's high relative volume, but it's also a big sign that there must have been a split or something recent, not a split, dilution, new shares being sold into the market. Not always the case, but sometimes they're a bit of a red flag. Anyway, big upside resistance right around 6 and then 7. So if we go actually to the 4-hour, and actually this is the weekly chart. Sorry about that, guys. I was like, why am I so confused right now? This doesn't look like it did before. Yeah, so similar situation, but a little bit more data. So here we see the $5 being some support, and then the 6 and 7 still big resistance. So let's now go to the daily chart. Oops, looks like ambulance right now outside. So the daily chart, like we were saying, the $6 zone is big resistance. So we tried to crack $6 at first and it didn't really work, and eventually we did have a crack, but we didn't hold the high. So let's talk about CRVS, what we decided to do on it. My first trade on this was a quick pullback here to VWAP. It was a pretty okay trade, no blow away home run or anything, small size. Pre-market, you always want to be a little bit smaller size to, you know, kind of make sure you have your footing in place. I tried to do a breakout trade here at that $6 zone. I bought into the breakout here, and it wasn't looking very strong, so I ended up selling right away for pretty much a scratch. I missed this move here. I was running around pre-market doing something else, and eventually we kind of started coming back down here. I bought on the first big retest here. Actually, I wanted to buy on the retest, but I thought we would see a little bit bigger sell-off, maybe in the 606s or 605, something a little bit more like here. But we didn't. So when I saw this support come in here, I was like, I like it. You know, we have clear support here. I'm going to buy into this green candle. I bought into this and looking for the continuation. We got that nice breakout here at 2022. Well, that's my entry, and then I wanted to sell into the continuation 3, 4 is where we sold. I was looking for a little bit bigger move, but I knew I'd like this at best would have a pullback and maybe a continuation. So I wanted to take profits here. This was not a blowaway trade or anything like that. I tried a few reversal trades here, a few pullback continuations. One didn't work, and the second one didn't work either. Just a little bit scratch central here, and then took a little pullback trade here. Didn't get a breakout, so closed this one. So pre-market, it was already showing a lot of signs of weakness, and I think I love trading pre-market. Primarily for the fact of kind of getting a feel for the ticker. It's kind of like sticking your feet in the water slowly before you jump in. Sometimes it's fun to jump in, but sometimes you don't really know what to prepare for. So for me, pre-market is really why I like to use light position size. That way I can't really dig myself in any sort of major hole, but at the same time, I get some experience in already. I kind of get a feeling for the order book a little bit more, especially on a Monday. Sometimes it's good to ease into it. So boom, market opens. This thing starts selling off. I was looking for a reversal move, a red to green. So I bought here on the bigger support. This was about a 6% pullback, classic move for me. Didn't bounce that hard at first, so I started averaging down here. Had a pretty decent position size, getting close to, I think this was $1.2 thousand position size. So you're getting close to a $6,000 position size, 1.2 thousand shares times 5.36 or whatever my average was. So yeah, close to a $6,000 position size. Sold on the 9 EMA kind of retest a little bit too soon because there was so much weakness in this one. This was looking for a breakout trade. Took a loss on this one, and then here I bought a pullback trade. I just didn't have the conviction to hold through, so I actually ended up on a scratch, even though this one actually ended up being like a 5% VWAP break. You guys know about all these trades; they happened live in the stream, but I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be trading CRVS anymore. A lot of these former spikes didn't hold their highs that well. Could be a continuation. Who knows? $5 is pretty big support. I would maybe look into this on, if it keeps holding this area. Maybe it's going to be an afternoon run, but I'm not super stoked about it. Let's keep going here. Don't want to take up too much time. GRNQ. This was our second lead gapper. GRNQ. 72 million market cap. Oops, what did I type in here? And actually, let's go to the daily chart. I feel like the daily chart's always really nice to look at. Don't forget to drop a like, guys, if you are enjoying the content, and if you guys are totally new here. Remember, 9:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We start the live stream, and then we trade the market open till about 11 o'clock. And starting around 10:30, we stop day trading and start talking about swing trades a little bit more. Okay, GRNQ. So this one's selling off quite a bit for a long time. This is classic small cap. I mean, nothing really too surprising here. 72 million market cap, 16 million float, Hong Kong conglomerate. Now, I have a hard time oftentimes trading like Chinese companies. I tend to have a hard read on them. The Hong Kong company, I felt a little bit more conviction behind. So here it is. So satellite communication venture, they're doing an incubator for that. Kind of interesting catalyst. But at the same time, guys, it was literally only, it intends to incubate a low Earth orbit satellite communication venture. Intends. It's just like such light news. And then we know companies, from Elon Musk, Starlink. I mean, this is really in their area, and they want to focus on Southeast Asia region. I mean, cool catalyst, but I just felt like it didn't have that much oomph behind it, so to say. So GRNQ, with that big resistance at 2.5, wasn't really able to hold this area. I knew I did not want to trade into the open because I just didn't feel the conviction behind GRNQ. This thing ended up pulling back quite a bit. I did want to actually trade this at around like 175. Unfortunately, we only got to 183, and then we ran up around 50%. So I actually missed this move here. And then, when we broke back above VWAP, I was like, okay, energy's back in this ticker. I'm just around before 10:30 when I wrap up my day trading, and I start, seeing, okay, well, there's a bull flag here. So this could be a potential for a breakout, right? We have a nice flag set up here. Hold on, let me just kind of draw it out a little bit. Roughly like this, and then you're looking for that continuation. Now, I thought we were going to get a breakout here. I thought this breakout was going to happen here, and the flag was a little bit tighter. That's kind of what I was thinking. So when there was a lot of weakness here, I was like, you know what, I'm going to be out of this one. I'm not going to trade this, and I just closed for a small profit, 5 cents a share. Bigger position size, or actually no, okay position size, which was good that I closed this one because it actually ended up flushing to the down, not a flush, it was just like a dip here, 7% though. That's no joke. I probably would have got shaken out, lost money on it, and then been super FOMO mode when it runs up 20% without me. So I'd rather take my 5 cents a share on this one, just walk away, take my base hit. I just was not feeling this one. Look how much sell volume it had on this fake out here. It could have easily dipped under below VWAP. So I don't know. It just was not the ticker for me. So I'm happy I just walked away. Okay, so Express. I didn't want to give it away, but I sold my Express position. I didn't want to give it all away, but here it goes. And you guys in the stream already know this, so no surprise. So Express was a ticker we talked about. We had a whole video on it for Friday, guys. Check out that video if you have not done so already. I'll make sure to link it somewhere here on the top right. The thing is, Express, I'm not going to go in full detail about it again, but you know what I always love to look for is these big first green days and those big breakouts to the upside, and then I buy on the pullbacks. That's exactly what happened here. We detailed this trade, and I ended up moving my limit order out because it didn't look like we were going to get a fill. Because my original entry was like somewhere here at like point something, like 0.72 or something like that. So I ended up actually getting a bit more aggressive. And let me go here on the 5-minute and kind of show you guys why. So yeah. EXPR really started forming a nice flag pattern here, nice bull flag. So we have a nice, the bull flag is a little harder to see, but we have kind of a dip here and we have a rebound. We're consolidating. We have kind of a flat top area roughly here at 7.6. And I was like, okay, well, I kind of want to get long on this before we look like we're going to break out higher before 7.67 or roughly. So I ended up buying the pullback here on the 9 EMA, and then I rode this. I was no longer online Friday, so I could not take profits here. I could have had a limit order, but I was just not online and I just wasn't watching this. So sending a limit order ahead of time would have been a smart idea, but I didn't. So pre-market today, I wake up and I'm like, oh man, you know, I need to close this position. Like this is kind of what I wanted, a little bit short term. So let me take some profits here because, you know, it's a little bit light overall. So I just took profits pre-market. Now I think EXPR is actually going to do my original entry, what I wanted. So I'm going to see if I can get another entry on this one, have a continuation. That's really what I'm looking for. We were talking a lot about risk reward, and right now, you know, let me go actually back to the 4-hour. This is looking really, really good for possible, risk reward around here for an entry around 0.72 because we had that nice breakout consolidation. Right now I would be looking for another continuation here, but right now it looks like I don't know, either this is gonna be the kind of, you guys can kind of see it, it's a bit of a flat top here and an ascending triangle pattern, right? Typically a bullish pattern. So we have a leg up consolidation, second leg up with higher lows. I think this might be a bit of a fake out where it's going to fake to the downside and then go up. So I don't know. I'm going to just manage my risk here and do a little bit better accumulation if possible. And then I would like to see this one continue. If you guys want to know more about the details, some of the fundamentals, some of the news, check out my video from Friday. I kind of go elaborate that a little bit more. So, but just very quickly, CHS, guys, is such a similar ticker in its own way. And this was called out. This is Chico's, a fashion or retail company in the US. It was called out in the chat room that it's a very similar ticker to the trade that we had with EN, the ticker I just was talking about, EPEV, you know, and I mean EXPR, you know, it's so weird. This happened to me like 6 times today on the stream. I just could not remember Express. I don't know why. It's like a glitch in my head. Anyway, we wrapped up Express with about 7-8%. We made about like $200 something on this one. It obviously shows P&L day only $1.20 because we made this profit yesterday. I wouldn't even be surprised if the P&L day was negative on this one because it actually did sell off pre-market. So very similar trade with EXPR with CHS. So here's why. I mean, the cyclical kind of nature of these retail companies and how much they've all sold off is kind of insane, right? They've all sold off tremendously. And what it looks like is there's huge support here around roughly 95 cents. Totally makes sense because CHS, Chico's, is a New York Stock Exchange company, which basically means if it goes below $1, they are going to get delisted. They get that 30-day notice, and then you have that opportunity, or the company kind of has to pump up their stock price. They got to do partnerships. They got to, you know, promote it. They got to do whatever it takes that they don't get delisted. Because if they get delisted, if they stay under $1 for too long and then get delisted from the New York Stock Exchange, they're going to go to the stock market graveyard, aka OTC markets, where people that's just not a place where you want to be for a stock. So if Chico's wants to survive, they're going to have to get over $1. So right now, anything around $1 could be huge potential, huge upside potential. And I'm not crazy about trading retail. It's not my favorite industry. I don't know a lot about it, but I trade a lot of stocks I don't know a lot about. What I do know a lot about is good support and resistance. So, risk and reward. That's really what I like to focus a lot of my trading on. And that's how I'm able to be consistently profitable. I don't know if you guys seen the stats from September, but, we're growing the small account, and, September was a pretty fun month. Yeah, that will load. But actually, wait, why did I move this over here? So here are the stats. We're actually going to be coming out with a whole entire September video, but let me just go back here and load these. I don't know if that was the full load. But while this is loading, it should go fairly quickly here. Sorry about this. Let me just go here and type in 01. That's probably the easiest thing to do. So quick little stats from September. What I really like to put a lot of my focus on is just clear risk reward. So what I wanted to bring this up is because our average win is very, it's like kind of like a 1.5 to 1 risk reward, right? So I'm always looking for those kind of quick moves. Now, I typically would look for more, like a 1 to 3, but with day trading, it gets a little bit scalpy sometimes. And if you're looking for that 1 to 3 moves, it happens so many times where I'm up 5%. And I didn't take my profits, and all of a sudden I closed for a loss, right? So I like to look for moves that have to like 1 to 3 risk reward, but then I'll take profits quicker. So that's why to me risk reward is everything. So with CHS, and now that you guys kind of we mentioned the risk reward just a little bit here. Sorry if I'm talking a little bit fast. I just don't want this video to go too long. So CHS to me, in my opinion, has really good risk reward because so far we've had that low of 91, but then we popped right back up. I think there's just the company's going to be promoting anytime it gets too low. So what I like is this big first green day. I want to buy in this pullback and look for a continuation. What I think is worst case scenario, if we don't break above $1 and hold $1, I think we might see these lows again. But then that's where I'd be cutting my losses, right? So at most, I'd be risking maybe 7% or so, because if we break below 90 cents, I would buy on a retest of roughly 90 cents, right? So even if this thing has like a 20% dip, I would sell into the bounce back to the upside, cut my losses. But in this area here, let's say at like 98 or so, if we get that pullback, I already have a limit order there, I would be looking for about 13% upside. Or, if we see a whole move to like 180-day moving average, which is this green line here, which is a place we often have retest on for stocks, that would be a really nice move to the upside. I probably would never hold into a full move like that, but even up to like 1.5, I mean, there's a huge amount of upside on this ticker. So if you're risking 10% and you're looking for that move to like 1.6, I mean, this is a pretty solid, 1 to 6 risk reward. That's a really nice trade in my eyes. So that's why I'm looking for CHS. Just remember, guys, always do your own due diligence. Let's actually go back to this one, show the disclaimer really quickly. So I'm going to go right away and go to Finviz. I want to share a little bit thing on Finviz here, just finviz.com, and then you guys can look up the code CHS. It's a USA apparel retail company. I like the fact that their float is a little bit higher, makes it a little bit more of a stable company for a swing trade. Market cap, a little bit on the low side for a swing trade. I like the kind of swing trade mid caps a bit more than small caps. And right now, CHS is really kind of falling into the small cap category a little bit for me. But that larger float, I mean, I'm typically day trading stocks under, around 15 and below million float. So this is like 10 times the float of that. So it gives you a little bit more stability. One thing I'd be a little weary of is Chico's Canada filed for bankruptcy. J. Crew looks like filed for bankruptcy. There's just, it's a sketchy sector. It's not like, you got to be a little bit careful here. And I'm not saying it's a perfect setup in terms of like no risk, right? I mean, this sector has been getting destroyed with Corona. So just, keep that in mind. But at the same time, I think there's a really good amount of upside. And I feel like I just have to bring it to your guys' attention because Chico, I mean, we already wrapped up a really nice trade with Express, EXPR, and I'm looking to dip buy that one again. And I think CHS is a really similar such call out that I think is worth mentioning. Is there anything I should probably mention from here on out? No, I think that's everything that I wrote down. So let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Are you guys going to be looking to trade something like CHS? Is it too risky for you, or is it exactly in the kind of risk portfolio that you're looking for, especially with that possible upside potential? So far, I have no trades on this one, and who knows, maybe I won't trade it at all. If you guys want to learn more about this one and kind of follow the whole entire trade flow, don't forget to check out the channel at 9:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we go live, we talk about our watch list, and then we trade the market open. Roughly around 10:30, we start talking about mid caps and swing trades a little bit more. All right, guys, that's everything for this video. Don't forget to drop a like if you enjoy the content. I'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe, and like always, stay safe, make some awesome trades. Ciao, ciao, guys.